Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7. I've only got a few videos left where we'd probably even put Season 7 in the title, so yeah. So in a few days' time from when this video will go up, we will have the finale for The Flash Season 7, which will feature a bunch of speedsters as the Flash himself, Barry Allen, looks to take down the villainous Godspeed from the future, along with all those weird clones, and yeah, he's going to need some help with that. Maybe not at the end, but throughout the episode he'll need just a little bit of help. But speaking of the future, one of the speedsters that will be along for the ride and helping out, and who also made his debut last week in the 150th episode of The Flash, is that of Bart Allen, aka Impulse, or, Barry Allen's son. Now, it was pretty big news when it was announced that Bart Allen, aka Impulse, would be coming to The Flash at some point in this season, but even from the get-go with that announcement, there was confusion. I'd say confusion probably about the character due to some changes in who he actually is and connections he has in the comics compared to the show. Now, some would argue these are pretty important connections, especially if you have read The Flash for a while or just know the characters. And I would say they are only important to the show if there were or are intentions to add it as a dynamic to the character. But in this video, we will go over Bart Allen's true origins from the comics that they have left out and what they've left out, connections to a certain yellow evil speedster as well. He'll come up in this episode or this video, and whether there could be some way, in the finale or beyond to nod to it sometime in the future. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various thoughts, opinions, which one you prefer. Do you prefer the way they're doing on TV, or would you prefer the more comic route? So just let me know your general thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Anything you want to add, I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and found this somewhat insightful, want to drop a like on it to show support and appreciation. Is that the word of the day? Appreciation, that's the word of the day. So in the comics, in most of the storylines at the very least, Bart Allen gets sent into the past where he gets to meet and know both Barry Allen as well as Iris West, might I say, which is of course what we are seeing on the show at the moment alongside his sister, Nora, aka XS. Nora does not exist in the comics. She's pretty much a character to fill in for Jenny Ognatz, who is the real XS in the comics, but yeah, that's the show version. However, on the show, Barry and Iris are Bart's parents, while in the comics, they are his grandparents, and he is from the year 2049 on the show, while in the comics, he is from the 30th century, so almost 1,000 years further into the future. Quite a distance. But if Barry and Iris are his grandparents, then, well, who are his parents in the comics if it's not Barry and Iris? So as most of you would know, Don and Dawn Allen are Barry and Iris' children from the comics, otherwise known as the Tornado Twins, which they might try and do that with Bart and Nora. I don't think it would make too much sense, but they might do that. But yeah, that's not the case on the show, of course, due to the fact that Bart and Nora the children that we're meeting. But Don Allen, so Barry and Iris' son, is actually the father of Bart Allen in the comics. And the thing that most makes Bart an interesting and different member of the Flash family, and just a heroic speedster in general, is not actually the bloodline from his father's side, connecting into Barry Allen. Oh, I'm the son of the Flash. That's not what makes him stand out. Oh, sorry, the grandson of the Flash, might I say. That's not what makes him stand out. It's actually what's on his mother's side. But why is that? Well, Bart's mother in the comics is that of Melanie Thorne. Yes, you heard that right. Melanie Thorne, as in Eobard Thawne, as in the Reverse Flash. Now, Melanie Thorne is or was a descendant of Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash, among other characters such as Cobalt Blue. Now, of course, this is some like Romeo and Juliet type drama going on with the Thorns. Like it's Romeo and Juliet Speedster Edition, with the Thorns and the Allens not only being romantically involved, but also producing a child. But this does lead to drama with various deaths, including that of Don Allen, Bart's father, displacement throughout time in the multiverse, as well as Bart being held captive for a certain amount of time, and the clone of Inertia being created. So Inertia in the comics is like Bart's Reverse Flash. Obviously on the show they're making it that Godspeed is Bart's Reverse Flash, but in the comics Inertia sort of fills that void. Now, there is actually a decent story they could tell if they had kept that lineage and just that general story arc in the, from the comics and brought it to the show, as well as just like general mystery around Bart due to his bloodline, some good parts in his bloodline and of course some bad. It would have been cool if they left that in just due to the fact that they could have explored that side of Bart and the future of the Flash family and the various dynamics and issues that could come up around that, but I understand why they decided to keep it simple and just make Bart the son of Barry and Iris rather than the grandson with all those other elements. They could have just made him the grandson, just skipped over all of this stuff, and maybe there would have been people that were fine with that. But I think if they just go, look, he's just the son, then you can't really complain. Well, what about the Reverse Flash lineage? What about Melanie Thorne? It's like, well, there's none of that because he's just the son. But if you made him the grandson, people might be expecting that to happen. It's never referenced and everything like that, and it could be an issue. At the moment, I don't think Bart is meant to be a long-lasting character on screen for the show. It's just for the short term, whether it ends in season 7 or maybe we get it at the beginning of season 8 as well. But I think it's just going to be short term. It's just going to explore the fact that speedsters do continue past Barry into the future. However, there is one thing I would love for them to incorporate, maybe in this week's finale, as it would be suitable, though I don't see it happening, unfortunately, and this is from the comics, and that is Bart's ability of speed scouting. Now, speed scouting was the ability that Bart Allen had to create these scouts, which are avatars or recreations of himself, which he could send throughout time, whether that be the past or the future, and then absorb their memories when they return. So he could send one to 10 years in the future to find something out, come back and give him that knowledge, but he physically wouldn't have gone there, so it shouldn't have really messed anything, and same with the past. So it can be a sort of a safe way to gain knowledge from the past or the future without potentially screwing up the timeline. Like a good thing, he might be placing a bet with some of his friends for the 2952 Super Bowl, and he just goes a couple days in the future, just sends one of them off, comes back. I know who's winning. It's the Los Angeles Steelers. They're winning. Is that going to be a team in 29? Whatever it is, maybe. And the reason I wouldn't mind if they brought this up is that this is what Godspeed could have been doing. If they made it that Godspeed had maybe stolen speed from Bart at one stage, maybe gained access to this or just learned it himself. Now, we are led to believe that Godspeed cannot time travel through himself. He actually has to use the cosmic treadmill. So maybe Godspeed can just do this in the present time. So he sends them out and they can go into different areas and they can zap back to him straight away. Godspeed does have the ability to clone himself in the comics, but only to one other form. So he can just split himself in two pretty much. It's not this vast thing where it can be multiple. So what we are seeing on the show would be more in line, I guess, with what Bart does with these scouts, or you could argue it's a combination. Actually, I would say it sort of leans maybe towards a combination of the two, but I'd probably say it seems it's more what Bart does, because these clones don't seem to be really all there. They seem to be like just be able to run fast and do certain things. They don't seem to be like fully functional, which is what Godspeed's clones would be in the comics. When he splits himself, it's like two Godspeeds. They can do the exact same thing. So it may be a combination of two. It probably leans towards that. Now, there has been discussions around like spin-off potential with Bart and Nora, and specifically Bart. Everyone wants to see more of Bart, but along with that comes Nora as well. Now, this has been brought up by the actor himself, that being Jordan Fisher. Now, I would cover that in this video, but I would rather do another video once season 7 ends and we know maybe what's set up in the finale and potentially if they're going to continue or what's set up in just as a whole. So once we maybe learn a bit more, I'll do a video specifically on that, but I want to wait till the season 7 finale comes out just because I don't want to have to make another video like shortly after that, just be repeating myself. So I'll do a video on that, but I'll leave that for another day. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all to go over. I'm very curious to see what they do in the finale, if there's any sort of like hinting at this, or if they just went, look, we're not going to even touch any of this because we made him the son, and it just makes it much easier. However, I can understand there'd be fans of Bart Allen, whether that's him as Impulse, Kid Flash, or The Flash, that would feel a bit shortchanged, but that's for us to wait and find out, and we'll just have to wait and see how they do it, because it's a flip of the coin. It could be either. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This is probably going to be my final bonus video for this season. I thought my next video is probably going to be my review, and then maybe it's something to do with the finale if there's a cliffhanger. So this will probably be like the final bonus video before the finale. So yeah, pretty crazy to think. But if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what I went over and everything like that. I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.